Remember Mr. Rosenstein, the Deputy Attorney General? He's involved to some extent in the uranium matter. He was the U.S. Attorney for Maryland at the time. Mueller was the FBI director early on at the time. Comey would become the FBI director. See the circle? And so Rosenstein becomes Deputy Attorney General. Who does he appoint as special counsel? Mueller. So the former U.S. attorney who worked with Mueller on some of these things, he now appoints Mueller to be special counsel. Anyway, let us move into the uranium issue because it relates in the sense that, once again, we're dealing with Russia, and once again, it's not Trump. It's the other side. It's Clinton. And I feel that Breitbart News had a very good summation of this in plain English. We've done it ourselves here, but I try to look for different ways in order to present the information that can be as clear as possible to you. So here's 7 facts about the Uranium One deal that you need to know, as written by Adam Shaw at Breitbart. Number 1, Peter Schweitzer broke the Uranium One scandal. Government Accountability Institute President, Breitbart News Senior Editor-at-Large Peter Schweitzer, and this is true, broke the Uranium One scandal in his book, Clinton Cash. In the book, he reported that Clinton's State Department, along with other federal agencies, approved the transfer of 20% of all U.S. uranium to Russia, and that 9 foreign investors in the deal gave $145 million to Hillary and Bill Clinton's personal charity, the Clinton Foundation. Now, for the leftists out there, say, well, that's just a coincidence. Well, have they given another $145 million this year? No. They wanted something. Number 2, the New York Times confirmed the scandal in 2015. The New York Times confirmed Schweitzer's Uranium One revelations in a 4,000-word front-page story by a Pulitzer Prize-winning investigative reporter. It detailed how the Russian energy giant Rosatom, and we talked at length about this the other day, had taken over the Canadian firm with 3 separate purchases between 2009 and 2013, largely coinciding with Hillary Clinton's time as Secretary of State. Number 3, the FBI uncovered evidence that Russian money was funneled to the Clinton Foundation. The Hill newspaper reported last week that ahead of the deal, the FBI had uncovered substantial evidence that the Russian nuclear industry officials were engaged in bribery, kickbacks, extortion, and money laundering to expand Russia's nuclear footprint in the U.S. as early as 2009. The agency also found that Russian nuclear officials had routed millions of dollars to the U.S. to benefit the Clinton Foundation. The Justice Department would sit on the evidence for 4 years before looking to prosecute, by which time the deal had been approved. For 4 years. Number 4, Congress is now investigating. Again, the Senate Judiciary Committee has launched a probe into the scandal and has sent requests for more information to 10 federal agencies involved in the approval of the partial sale of Uranium One, asking what they knew about the FBI investigation and when. Because, you see, the concern here is, legitimately, that Mr. Mueller sat on this and held it back. He kept it from Congress. Later, Comey did as well. And the deal went through. Now, who benefited from the deal? Did the American people? Absolutely not. Not 20% of the uranium of the United States going to the Russians. The Clinton Foundation benefited, and as you're about to find out, Bill Clinton personally got $500,000 for a speech. Tie this in with Jim Comey in 2016, the summer of 2016, where he decides that there's not enough evidence to prosecute Hillary Clinton, takes the decision away from Justice Department prosecutors, concluded that 2 months before he ever interviewed Hillary Clinton or 24 other key witnesses, or even had access to their laptops. You know, there's a point at which this stuff is not conspiracy stuff. There are patterns that you follow. There's a reality that takes place. Hillary Clinton protected from prosecution by the FBI director. The senior FBI officials keeping this uranium, excuse me, all these violations, the payoffs and the rest and so forth, quiet for 4 years. For 4 years. The Clinton Foundation getting $145 million from Russian fronts. And now we have Clinton himself. Bill paid $500,000 for a speech in Moscow. Bill Clinton bagged a $500,000 speech in Moscow, paid for by a Kremlin bank shortly after Russia announced its intention to take a majority stake in the company. According to the Times, Clinton traveled to Moscow in June 2010, the same month Ross Adams struck its deal for its majority stake in Uranium One. That's like the meeting on the tarmac with Loretta Lynch, the then Attorney General Bill Clinton. We were all told it was a 20, 30-minute meeting where they were talking about their grandchildren and golf. And we know that's a flat-out lie. That's a cover-up. Number 6, the Clinton Foundation took big bucks from uranium investors. According to the Times, this is the New York Times, the Clinton Foundation received $2.35 million in donations from Ian Telfer, a mining investor who was also the chairman of Uranium One when Ross Adams acquired it. Ross Adams acquires Uranium One. It also received $31.3 million and a pledge of $100 million from Frank Gustra, the Canadian mining financier whose company merged with Uranium One. Let's continue as we finish this out. Senate Republicans want an FBI gag order lifted. Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley has called for the Justice Department to lift the gag order on the FBI's whistleblower, the whistleblower who was on the inside informing the FBI of these activities, indicating that he may have more explosive revelations related to the case and on what the Clintons and the Obama administration knew about the case and when they knew it. Wow.
For more, sign up for Levin TV.